Good morning YouTube, or good evening wherever you are in the world. We're back here with another video, and actually we're going to take a look at Felicia Exclusive 0. You're probably interested in it. Can I use Felicia on Exclusive 0 in PvP and PvE? What does she do, and how strong is she? So from the last video when we did the hero build guide, we talked about that she needs crit rate, crit damage, attack, and also some speed. She does not need affected, and she's scaling with crit damage instead of internal injury. She's also scaling with crit damage instead of mastery, so we don't need mastery on her, although she is doing an dot kind of damage type, right? But as you say here in the, or as you can see here in the left corner, this damage ignores defense and cannot trigger crit, leech, or damage reflect. It says down there, right? And that is the usual part, but she can actually crit with her abilities. Now, I've had some, I've actually spent a lot of hours, I think maybe 3 hours, trying to gear her and improve her as good as I could with my items without affecting my already current heroes negatively. So in the last video I talked about that I maybe would be taking the blessings from Marie just to get her crit damage down, so that Felicia could have the highest amount of crit damage or crit rate in the team. After a few hours tinkering with gear, doing stuff and left and right, I actually managed to come to a conclusion where I didn't need to do anything about Marie, and well, I did. I removed 40 speed. Actually, Melq had this item here equipped, so I just took that, and I managed to get it. So you can see here my crit rate is 101.4% crit rate and 399 crit damage. Now if you go and look at Felicia, she is at 101.7, so she has more crit rate, exactly 0.3% more crit rate than Marie, so that should work. Now the crit damage is lower, but it's only until tomorrow, where I'm going to steal this one here from Gacha, but right now I don't have any gems, so yeah, gonna cost 400 gems. Gonna do that tomorrow. We're gonna steal that one, and then Felicia should also have the most amount of crit damage. That means in this video here today, if you see me getting CC'd, that is only because I haven't gotten the blessing yet, but she should be immune to CC from tomorrow. Now I'm okay, satisfied with the rest of the stats here. Speed and attack. Attack is very low though, I think, for my account, but it then again, we don't have exclusives on her, and the aura is only level 8, so we can get some attack from that. And I might even go with a 20% attack just to give her some more. If you look at her base stats here at Exclusive 0, she actually, the white numbers over there to the right, she actually has the same exact template as Marie. You can see it here, a switch between Marie and Felicia. It's the same basic template, okay? So that makes it very easy for you to gear her up, okay? So yeah, very good base template, actually, very strong. Now I didn't put any speed blessings or anything, so very nice. Let's test her out at Exclusive 0. You've seen my stats. It's now up to you to kind of understand your own account and figure out if you think she can do anything for your account at Exclusive 0, okay? Obviously, if you can only get 30k attack and, well, 250% crit damage or something like that, and you can see me maybe struggling somewhere, then you can obviously just like say, okay, maybe it's not gonna help me, right? So just keep that in mind when we go and take a look at everything. Now her echo, just to show you a bit more here, to be transparent, I got her echo and I leveled it up to level 30 here, got the crit rate, and we'll be working on the stars on that one. We do not have an Arcane Gem equipped, but we could go with Glory of Judgment, but we won't do that for this video because it is very pay to win, okay? So to make it more fair on Exclusive 0, we don't do that. And the aura here, level 3-star boss slayer, okay? Let's get into some content here. Already talked almost 5 minutes here, we are getting nowhere. So obviously the first place we will want to test her is PvE, and we have Voodooing Coast here. Now I've actually did like when you see cooking show in the TV, sometimes they already prepare some stuff, right? And that is the same for me here. So I did test a few things just to be sure that I gave you the best advice and the best information, okay? Now for the Power of Saga City buff here in Wuthering Coast. If you read what it says increases enemies' internal injury damage taken by 100%. And for each hero from Saga City Alliance increases this damage bonus, blah blah blah. The thing is that I don't think she's actually scaling with this here, because she is not doing the dot damage. She's doing like, well, she can crit and stuff, but she's not getting anything from mastery either, right? So, but if we put them in this team here, it's just to showcase the strongest internal injury damage dealers that I have. So let's see how much damage you can do. No presets or anything, just go. And as you can see here, this is pretty much disappointing, I think. You saw my stats before, and it's a limited hero. It's an attack-based type, right? It's an attacker, but you can clearly see here the damage. She's doing 101 million damage. My Dianmu, who I haven't touched in like a year or something like that. I don't even know what gear she has on. I haven't looked at her for a year or something. I just pop her in and then it works, okay? She's doing more damage. She's doing more damage, my Dianmu, in Wuthering Coast. So that is why I think she doesn't scale with the buff in Wuthering Coast. So if that's a bug or if it's not a bug, I don't know. But I can just verify that she doesn't scale with that damage, I think, in Wuthering Coast. So if you thought that you could use her to maybe get to that 60 billion threshold that you might be struggling with, she's not it. Okay, she's not it here. She is not that. So I think for the Uli, which obviously we cannot test right now, but I think is it in a few days, 3 days or something like that. It's going to be this one here, right? Yeah. I think she might be able to replace Tyrell or, well, Xiao Jun actually, I think. Xiao Jun to add some survivability for the team, but I think damage-wise might be the same issue actually as in Wuthering Coast, because I think the boss, can we see the boss here? What boss is it? The Mosi boss, right? Isn't it the Mosi boss? I think, or is this one, I think, yeah. So in INVUIMR here, right? If you take a look at that here, you can also see that it says that she'll take 99% less damage unless she's taking damage from internal injury, right? The damage type might be internal injury, so I don't know how it's going to, if it's going to work, but I'm just very confused about the whole crit damage mastery, not scaling with injury damage at the moment. I think it's kind of a weird setup that they've made. And I also think that the game might be confused about it also. So, because the game is maybe expecting some mastery to increase the internal injury damage, right? But we will see that in a few days here, see if she can actually do something. But it didn't look very nice for the Wuthering Coast, I must admit. Now, for Faction Abyss, you can use her for Faction Abyss, and I've put a team together here. This is just a random team, you can see no presets, so let's just put her into Faction Abyss to see if she can help with that, if in case you haven't cleared Faction Abyss 30. And here we can actually see, okay, I didn't get to slow it, but you saw her one-shotting the waves there. She is actually very hard on these lower health monsters. You can also see here she's almost killing that wave there. You have to remember that she doesn't have any attack buff or anything here in this team composition. But let's see at the boss here if she can do any damage. If we can survive here, let's just see. Nice animations, I guess. If we have to say something nice about this, it is she has pretty good animations. And here you can see she's doing some damage. Let's see if we can slow it down to see how much damage she's actually doing here. Roaring Sea. Let's see, 2.7 million damage. 2.7 million damage, and that was her. That was that nuke there. Let's see this one here, 3 million damage. Okay, so she's doing a bit of damage, but not a lot. But you can see here up the debuffs that she's put on the boss. I don't know if it's going to show the double layers or whatever. Okay, it is going to show double layers. So we have one layer of 1, and now we have 2 of 2. So it took some time actually to stack that at exclusive 0. I must say we are 6 boss turns in and then she stacked it, so might need the exclusives there to counter attack and pursue an attack and stuff like that to apply those things fast. We also have to remember, obviously, now that I think about it, that the echo, well, half of the echo is not really working before we get the exclusive, because she can't counter attack and pursue an attack. So the whole extra skill damage is not being applied to her, but it wouldn't have worked in Wuthering Coast, or wouldn't have helped in Wuthering Coast anyways, right? Because she did 100 million damage. But let's see her damage here in Faction Abyss. Let's just see it here. Okay, so she's doing basically the same damage as Anhijin at exclusive 0. Yeah, not really. I mean, for someone that is ignoring all defense and stuff like that, I think she should be doing a bit more damage. But her multipliers are pretty low at exclusive 0, and that is why I'm showcasing this here for you, okay? I think for damage-wise, there is not really any else place we can show it. And unfortunately, this one opens up tomorrow. We could have tried to push a bit there. But let's put her into some arena team, and then that will probably be it, I guess, because I will give you a conclusion in a minute, okay? I will give you a conclusion in a minute. So let's just pick a random dude here, this guy here. And remember, we don't have the exclusive one, so we are not reducing the defense yet on Muringing. You can see Felicia here on the right side. If you want to watch her animations, let's see if she can do anything here. Let's see if she actually... Is she going to do some damage? Let's see here. So this is against Marie, and you can see that she is doing damage, and the shield is taking it. So the crit part, the crit rate thing is working against Marie. So you can do damage against Marie. That is confirmed also now. So, but again, let's see the damage after this fight here, right? I think Apsara and Marie obviously is going to be the one that is doing the main of the damage. Also, Nikki is giving the buff to Marie, but that is fine, right? Let's see the damage here. Let's see how much she actually did here at exclusive 0. Yes, so that is her damage at exclusive 0. And you saw her stats. Pretty good stats, I must say. But you can clearly see that she's not doing any damage. She's not. So the conclusion is that at exclusive 0, you should not expect her to do any damage at all, okay? At exclusive 0, she works more as a support, kinda. You could probably just like make sure that she got all the crit rate and crit damage, and then just forget about the attack, if that's easier for you to gear for that. Give her a lot of speed, and then just use her as in PvP as the CC immune target that is going to reduce damage here with this one here, and damage and skill damage down by this, okay? That is probably what you could also do. But I think this layer thing here is not really stacking fast enough. Maybe we get some exclusive, she's gonna be nice. But on exclusive 0, the conclusion is going to be damage dealer. No, you cannot use her as a damage dealer. Support to use to reduce some damage on enemies and bosses. Yes, you can do that. But I think that is it for me for now. You can see the stats here one more time. You can see pretty good stats, I guess, and you saw the damage. It's not there. It's not there. Okay, so would I recommend this hero here if you can only get her exclusive 0? I would actually say no. I think you should skip this one here if you can only get exclusive 0, because I can't see her being that mandatory in any content at exclusive 0. So I guess if you don't like the artwork on her, that is pretty nice that you can actually skip her and go for the next one. We have 2 months, and then we get the next anniversary hero. So yeah, see you in the next video where I test her at exclusive 1.